Hi, my name is Nikki Lerzak. I'm the Instructional Services Librarian at Genesee Community College, and this is MLA Citation Style, How to Create References for Web Resources. The basic format starts with an author, last name, comma, first name, period. In quotations, title of the article or the web page, noticing that all of the important words are capitalized, followed by a period, and then close the quote. In italics, the name of the larger website that page is a part of, period. After the name of the website, you want to give us the publisher information. Who is the one responsible, who owns the copyright, or seems like the larger group in charge of the website, if you have one. If you don't, you would put capital N, period, little p, period for no publisher, a comma, and then the publication, copyright, last update to whatever level you can find. It may just be a year, it may be a day, month, and a year, whatever level you find is good. If you don't find a date, then little n period, little d period for no date. After that comes the medium of publication, which, because it's a web page, will always be web, period. The access date in MLA format, day, then month, then year, a period, and finally the URL or web address for the specific page you are citing, not the larger website it's a part of. Again, as always, everything is double-spaced and everything after the first line is indented. Let's take a look at a real-life example. Here is a government website. Obviously, as you look in the top corner, you see U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. If you're looking at the library style sheet, then you want to look at example number 2 for a government website, because that's the format we're going to kind of follow for this one. This is very involved. First thing I want is an author. This page tells me that the author is the Child Welfare Information Gateway. This page, as most government pages do, has a PDF, so I have a print version of this website. This is nice and will help us verify some details at a later point, but for now, we're just going to make a note that it's there. So I see my author is the Child Welfare Information Gateway, and that's how I'm going to start my citation, followed by a period. The title comes next, Impact of Adoption on Birth Parents. It is up here. It does say up here, a fact sheet for families. The fact that it says it up there and it doesn't say it down here. The PDF, in this case, I'm going to consult it, does just say Impact of Adoption on Birth Parents. So, since I have two places that seem to agree that it's just Impact of Adoption on Birth Parents, I'm going to go with that. There it is, in quotation marks, Impact of Adoption on Birth Parents, period, close quotation. Now, here is where the PDF is going to be helpful, because we want to cite the publisher information, who owns this larger website. At the top of the page, you can see that they say Administration for Children and Families, which is a part of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. At the bottom of this page, I can see that this is a service of the Children's Bureau, Administration for Children and Families, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And the PDF has even something different as well. Down at the bottom of this PDF, they tell me there's the Children's Bureau again, and now I've got the Administration on Children, Youth, and Families, as well as the Administration for Children and Families in the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Are you completely correct to go with just the Children's Bureau, Administration for Children and Families, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and leave out this Administration on Children, Youth, and Families? Yes, the other website does have those 3 levels, and I would say you are pretty much good with those 3, but I have the 4th. The name of the website this is coming from, the most directly responsible here, the Children's Bureau, because we start very specific, and as we go up, we get more general. So I'm going to say Children's Bureau in italics, capitalized, period. That is the name of the larger website this comes from. Now, the publisher that's responsible, I'm going to back my way back up the food chain. As you can see, I start with the Administration on Children, Youth, and Families, a comma, the Administration for Children and Families, a comma, and then U.S. Dept of Health and Human Services. It's perfectly acceptable to do that level of an abbreviation for government departments, followed by a comma. So I've got those 3 levels of departments and offices, and that's good. And then a comma. September 2004 is the date that I actually have on the publication here. So the other one, the page itself, simply told me that this was published in 2004. Again, it's one of those, I have the information, so I'm going to put the information. And in MLA fashion, it's day, then month, then year. I don't have a day, but so sept, period, 2004. Period. My medium of publication, of course, as a web page is web, so we have that next, followed by a period. And my access date today in MLA format is 8-dec, period, 2010, period. Lastly, I want to end in brackets with the address of the page. That's easily grabbed from up there, but I could also use this web address. It points to a slightly different place, but they are one and the same. So either one, this or this, would be fine. And as you can see, the entire thing is double spaced and everything after the first line is indented. Let's take a look at a slightly less complex example, something that's a little more likely. So here we are, finding your birth parents after adoption. What I've got here is a site, lots of ads, kind of distracting, hard to see where I'm reading, but I start at the top, here's my title. Generally, if you're going to have an author, they come somewhere near the title. I don't see an author here, so I'm willing to scroll down and see, do I have an author down below, posted in adoption? I have related articles. The information here tells me is a disclaimer. I know they're part of the iVillage family. And then I've got sort of an email address for thelaboroflove.com. I saw them up at the top. And the copyright is owned by this thing called Earth's Magic Inc. I still am not seeing anything that says, hey, I'm the author, I am responsible for the writing of this. Because I'm lacking something that seems like a true author, I'm going to say this one doesn't have one. It starts with a title. And it's very close in correct MLA format. Finding your birth parents after adoption. I feel all of these are the important words, so I've capitalized them all. In quotes, period, close quotes. After that, I want the name of the website. Well, up here I've got thelaboroflove.com. We saw the Labor of Love at the bottom. I do have a main page here, and still I'm on thelaboroflove.com. I would say thelaboroflove.com seems to be the larger website that this comes from, so I am comfortable giving thelaboroflove.com kudos as the name of the website. Thelaboroflove.com. I use their capitalization, as you can see, capital T, capital L, capital O, capital L, a period, and then a little com. Thelaboroflove.com. It is in italics because this is the name of the website. Down at the bottom, we had the copyright, and the copyright generally is going to be owned by the organization or the publisher responsible for the site. Earth's Magic Inc. are the people who are publishing this site. Earth's Magic Inc., comma, and my last update, my publication date, you can see is just 2010. That's all I know about it. 2010. This is a web, and today's access date is 8-Dec-2010, period. And then I include the address of the website. Because this is a longer website, you do want to try and break them at slashes, because that's the clean break. We are all double spaced, and everything after the first line is indented. In MLA, you are trying to answer or fill in as much as you can with a website, but you'll notice that most websites are not going to give you absolutely everything, or if they do, you're lucky. If you don't have, you can't put. If you don't have an author, you go on to the next thing you do have. If you don't know the publisher, you put the NP. If you don't have a date, you put an ND. Put what you can, do your best, just take it one step at a time, click around, see what's there. You may need to click in more than one place to get all this information. If you have any questions about citing websites in MLA format, please do not hesitate to get in touch with the librarians, either through our Ask a Librarian page on the library's website or in person at the information desk.